Workers at the Marikana mine in South Africa are staging more protests despite agreeing to return to work. Under a deal brokered by the government, the miners should have been back on the job on Monday morning, but the National Union of Mineworkers says there's an atmosphere of intimidation at the mine, and the unrest appears to be spreading. A wildcat strike by 15,000 miners has also stopped work at the nearby Goldfields mine. Mike Hanna joins us now from the Marikana mine in Rustenburg. And Mike, we can see lots of protesters behind you. Have things gone peacefully so far today?
Well, what is interesting is that this is no longer the Marikana mine. The protesters have moved a number of kilometers away from that mine itself and from the settlement close to the mine, which is where they've been gathering through the morning. They have now marched a long way to come along to this mine shaft. This is another of Lonmin's mines in the particular area. As you can see, the strike here, absolutely total. The mine shaft being completely still. No workers on this mine at all. The police have allowed the protesters to start gathering in this area outside the shaft from both sides of the mine. There are now thousands of people who are beginning to gather in here. The police are standing by. As yet, everything has been proceeding very smoothly. Negotiations at each point of time apparently going on between the protesters and the police. The protesters apparently telling police that as they did last week, this protest would be peaceful. What they are doing here is moving now from shaft to shaft to continue to call for that wage increase, which has been the basis of the strike. There are supposed to be negotiations in the course of the day. A number of unions had agreed to take part in those talks and had in fact signed a peace document. But many of those who are here and protesting here are from one of the other mine workers unions who essentially spearheaded the wildcat strike, which has stopped production at these mines for the past 4 to 5 weeks. Lonmin says that some 6.4% of its workforce is at work this morning. That was the deadline for workers to return. Certainly at this particular shaft and at many others we've seen, there's nobody on this particular part of the mine.
And Mike, 4 to 5 weeks that the mines have not been in operation now. The mine owners must be hoping to end the strike as soon as possible. Any idea how much this is costing the mining industry there?
Well, once again, one must look at the various sectors of the mining industry. We are looking at one mining group in one of the sectors, and that is platinum. That is where the strike has been underway. There are obviously dozens of gold mines, dozens of silver mines, dozens of uranium mines. Strike has largely been, work has been proceeding as normal on those mines. But on this particular group of mines, those owned by Lonmin, the loss in income is absolutely massive. First of all, for the miners, regardless how badly they claim they were paid, that has been a total loss of income for them. For the mine owners, well, the loss is truly substantial. To understand the kind of money that is generated through these mines, there are a couple of smelters standing at the Marikana mine near here, filled with platinum. Each of those smelters has some $3 million worth of platinum to go out. They can't move it because the smelters have got to be kept contained with molten metal inside them always, otherwise the whole production will stop, even if the mine starts getting output again. But Lonmin says as well that in total they are losing about $100 million a month in operating profit. This is a massive loss for the owners, and one must just remind you what the wage demand is by these miners. 1,250 rand. That is some $1,500. So certainly the miners believe that their wage increase is justified. They say they will not carry out any talks until the wage increase is agreed to. The mine owners say they will not talk until the miners go back to work. This particular logjam continues. We'll see whether the negotiations in the course of the day have any impact on this. Taking a look at this mass protest that we are seeing, which has been gathering in size, this is highly unlikely.
Right, Mike, thank you very much. Once again, Mike Hanna, live for us from Rustenburg in South Africa, where the protests continue.